Good morning, everyone. 7:58 a.m. Leaving Bearsden Hostel. Great place to stay. Caretaker was very nice. It's a very cool setup. It's almost looks like a castle in the woods, and the caretaker stays there year-round. And he had a nice dog, and they've got an upstairs area where kind of like a lounge, I guess you would say. And there was a fireplace. There was also another older gentleman there, just reading a book by the fire. The dog was under a blanket, and later on after dinner, the caretaker popped champagne, and those two guys were just drinking. And I was like, that's sort of life goals, right? Like reading a book by the fire with your dog and just drinking champagne for no real reason, and just sharing stories and having fun. But two other section hikers, one of which had started a through hike in the spring like I did, and ended their through hike attempt. So they're kind of doing the same thing that I'm doing. And then there was one southbound through hiker. And so, yeah, so great stay. We're back on the roller coaster today, which seems strange, right? Normally on a real roller coaster, you would not stop in the middle of a roller coaster, but that's what we did last night. So we're headed back to the roller coaster. It's going to be 10 miles today, shooting for, I think it's called the Rod Hollow Shelter. So that's 25% longer than what we did yesterday and 50% more climbing. So I might get my butt kicked today, but it's not supposed to rain, although it's still very sort of foggy and misty. You can kind of see in the background. So we'll catch up with you up the trail. Okay, everybody, we're looking back down the trail. We're in the middle of a 600-foot up. Roller coaster kind of gets a bad name because there's not many views, right? So you climb a lot, but you're not getting paid off necessarily with expensive views, but that doesn't mean it's not pretty. So here's the sun shining through the trees. You can hear the sound of the rain droplets falling off the trees. I apologize if my heavy breathing ruins the shot. All right, everybody. We made it to the top of that 600-foot climb. I was, struggling up the hill, cursing my laziness at home and gluttonous donut consumption. Doubled over, trying to catch my breath, huffing and puffing. And that southbounder that stayed at the same place I did last night just came flying past me. He wasn't even using poles. He just said happy trails and just scrambled up. I guess when you've done over 1,100 miles and you've done Katahdin and the rest of Maine and the White Mountains and the Mid-Atlantics, you came through the Pennsylvania rocks, maybe this isn't just but a speed bump to you, but whoo-wee, it's tough. So, anyway, I'm gonna rest here for a little bit, drink some water. Got another big down and a big up. We're just trying to take it one slope at a time. See you up the trail. Okay, we are descending now. I guess in a normal roller coaster, right, descents are essentially free, right? If you're on an amusement park ride, yes, you have. Suppose there's some friction in the, metal on metal contact between the car and the track. I suppose there's also some aerodynamic drag. But what is so those are the frictions that you're overcoming to move forward on a roller coaster on a downhill. But when I'm moving downhill like this, what friction or what forces am I overcoming? I guess I'm overcoming gravity because I'm having to sort of basically arrest myself from falling down the hill. Maybe I'm also overcoming friction between my shoes and the ground. The uphills make more sense, right? Obviously there you're fighting gravity. But on the downhills, right, the downhills seem just as much work as the uphills. I guess you're fighting gravity in both directions, whereas a roller coaster, you're fighting gravity on the uphill, but of course that's, on the initial uphill, you're pulled by that chain, and then you're basically converting that into potential energy at the top of the first giant hill, and then from the rest of that, it's just all, you're just converting potential energy into kinetic energy, and it's being offset by drag and aerodynamics. But anyway, what friction or what forces am I being forced to overcome here, because they feel like a lot. Anyway, I'm butchering basic Newtonian physics, but this is what runs through my head on a big descent. We'll see you guys up the trail. Or while I've been thinking about it, is it down the trail? Now that when I was heading northbound, see you up the trail made more sense. But if I'm heading southbound, should it be see you down the trail? I don't know. Again, I probably shouldn't think about these things as much as I do. But let me know in the comments. We'll see you whenever on the trail. Hey everybody. Still headed uphill now. It's a little more graded, a little less rocks. So I thought I'd take a minute, update you on the scholarship situation. So I'm happy to report, as of last time I checked, we had raised approximately, I think a little over $3,000 for accounting students at the Walton College of Business at the University of Arkansas. So I want to thank each of you that donated. Thank each of you that are watching the videos. Fundraising site is still live. All right, we can continue to raise money. Donation instructions are at the end of each video. Please have your cookies enabled. That's going to populate when you pull up the link for the online giving site for the University of Arkansas. That'll populate all the necessary fields that tells the fundraising personnel to associate that donation with this channel and our adventures here. So again, thank you to everyone that's donated. If you haven't, if you are able, and maybe you could help out students at the University of Arkansas. So again, I think this will make a difference in somebody's life. We'll have to think about, sorry. We'll have to think about, when do we stop collecting and when do we start giving? But I think we can always collect. And it's just a question of when do we want to take what's in the pot and allocate to a student or students. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thanks again. Thanks for hanging out in the deep end. Oh, hello everyone. If it seems like I'm out of breath, 2 reasons. Number one, we're about 30 vertical feet away from finishing the last climb in the roller coaster. But then also secondly, I saw another ground hornet's nest. It's about a baseball size opening in the ground. And I saw one fly out. And so I did my sprint as I almost rolled my ankle. Anyway, I didn't get stung. So hopefully that's the last of the ground wasp nest. Okay, so we got like, I don't know, 600-foot descent, and we'll be out of the roller coaster. I'll check in with you there. Okay, everyone, this sign is for northbounders, but for southbounders, this means we have finished the roller coaster. Now, sometimes when you finish a roller coaster, your first instinct was, wow, that was so fun. I want to get back in line and do that again. But that is not for me. That is not the case for me on this particular roller coaster. But we are 0.4 away from when we're going to stay for the night, so I'll catch up with you then. Okay, everyone, look around. Rod Hollow Shelter, covered picnic area, fire pit. Spring is supposed to be back that way, but it is bone dry even after the rains last night. And then the shelter itself. So we did 9.9 miles today, but that was 3,380 feet of climbing, 3,480 feet of descent. So when you add that up and divide by 9.9, you get something like 693 feet of vertical relief per mile. And so that far exceeds anything that I've seen on trail to this point. Now I know there are points in the trail that are even, more relief per mile than that. And maybe I'll see those things one day, but for today, this is all I wanted. So we'll see. The water situation is a little concerning. I have some water, but the water warning is flashing yellow, I suppose, on the dashboard. Looks like there's 2 other hikers here, and then that husband and wife team that were also at Bear's Den last night thought they were going to get here, although the sun is getting pretty low in the sky, so we'll see if they show up. But anyway, very difficult day, but thanks for following along, and I'll see you on the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, I would ask 2 things. First, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those actions help us grow the community so that we can put more good out into the world. Second, when I'm not out on an adventure, I am a college professor. A college education can be transformative, but college is an expensive proposition. However, I think we can help, so I'm asking you to please donate to support scholarships for students at the Sam M. Walton College of Business at the University of Arkansas. There are two ways you can navigate to the donation page. First, you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen. Please have cookies enabled in your browser. The second method is to navigate to the URL that you see on the screen or in the description to this video. When you arrive at that page, what should you see? Well, you will be on the online giving website for the University of Arkansas. You should notice that the designation and the other department, program, or fund fields are automatically populated. That's going to tell the fundraising personnel to automatically associate any funds raised with our effort here on this channel. All you have to do is enter an amount and your personal information. I will keep you up to date with our fundraising progress as we move through the adventure. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next video.